Time for Meet in the Middle, where we find common ground between two people who would never be caught hanging out together. Okay, on one side, Olivia Rodrigo. We got the Juice, Jonathan Scott, the property brother, and Idris Elba. On the other side, we got the other property brother, Drew Scott, Pope Francis, Kelsey Grammer, and Sir Elton John. First up, more bounce to the ounce. Which two of these people used to work as bouncers?
I feel like the Pope is not going to work as a bouncer.
But he wasn't always a pope, keep that in mind.
I feel like the answer might be the Pope.
You think it's
I feel like in Argentina, he was out there dancing the flamenco, and somebody's like, you're big, take care of these gauchos who are coming in here.
The Pope is big. When I see the Pope, I go, wow, what a huge Pope.
You didn't see him in his heyday. He was jacked. He was never jacked.
No, I think it's...
I want to go with Idris and the Pope.
Amber?
Okay, we're going to go with O.J. Simpson.
Wait.
And the least likely, Elton John.
What? The answer, Idris Elba and Pope Francis.
Yeah!
Both used to work as bouncers.
This is why you get a Catholic teammate.
Yeah!
Pope Francis worked the door at a nightclub in Buenos Aires, while Idris Elba was a bouncer at Caroline's Comedy Club in New York.
Wow.
Bonus points. Idris has talked about how he used to sell weed while working at Caroline's. Does anyone know which famous stand-up comedian used to buy his
Roy
weed?
Wood Jr.
Is he in the room right now?
No, he's not in the room right now. Which famous comic used to buy the weed?
Famous comedian did not buy weed from him at the comedy?
It's got to be Dave Chappelle.
Let's find out.
Idris Elba, the famous actor, used to be a security guard.
Really?
Caroline's. Yeah. You can ask him. I used to buy weed from him.
You used to buy weed from Idris Elba?
Yeah. I don't know if I should talk about it, but
Yeah, you can talk about it.
If I bought weed from Idris Elba, that's all I would tell people. It wouldn't even matter what the question is. Do you take this woman to be your wife? I bought weed from Idris Elba, man. It's crazy, man. Next up, we've got falling stars. Which two of these people both have fallen off of a stage?
Frasier, and it's the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. That's the funniest video of all time.
Okay.
Hands
Kelsey
down.
Grammer. You say Kelsey Grammer, pick one from the other side.
It's got to be...
It's got to be Olivia Rodrigo.
Olivia Rodrigo.
Rodriguez, yeah.
Rodrigo or Rodriguez?
Rodrigo.
Rodrigo. Grandpa's?
Got to be her. I mean...
Olivia Rodrigo and Kelsey Grammer have both taken public spills. Olivia Rodrigo fell through a trap door on stage at a concert in Australia this week.
Oh my God, that was fun. I'm okay. Sometimes there's just a hole in the stage.
No.
That's pretty good.
Do you understand how rich you have to be to just get right back up after falling? I don't know about you, but if I fell on a stage in a multi-million-dollar bill, I'm just laid out the whole time. I'm not moving. Sir, are you okay? I smoked weed with Idris Elba. So Rodrigo fell this week.
Everyone emotionally prepare for the best thing you've ever seen in your life.
So Olivia fell in Australia, and while delivering a speech at Disneyland, this happened to Kelsey Grammer.
Trip through It's a Small World, pretending I was a UN interpreter. Oh, good Lord. Oh. I think I'm... Wow, that was really, really bad.
And that's how you're supposed to fall off the stage. You fall off the stage, and then you marinate for a bit, and you
That's the difference between a man and a woman. The woman falls, she was probably hurt, she snapped right back up, because don't nobody care. If this old white man falls, he's like, oh, I don't know, Somebody comes over, has to deal with his old ass.
Let's do Jewel Be Back. Which two of these people have both...
O.J. Simpson.
Which two of these people have both been turned into jewelry?
It has to be Elton John and
I
a property brother.
No, I think it's got to be O.J. He definitely must have marketed something with, like,
No.
Some medallion or something.
I think.
Property Brothers.
I have no reason, nothing to support this hypothesis at all. But I think we think it's the Property Brothers.
Yeah.
O.J. Simpson and Elton John have both been turned into jewelry. O.J.'s cremated remains were turned into
jeez, I didn't
jewelry.
realize that.
His cremated remains were turned into jewelry for his children, which I can only assume they're going to use as a reward for whoever finds the real killers. Meanwhile, Elton John recently wore his old kneecap as a necklace. He did this while attending the London premiere of a new documentary about him. He came in with his kneecap on a gold chain, just on a chain.
Oh, Jesus.
What's wrong with that? That rules.
I mean, the good thing if you're wearing a kneecap, you know when it's about to rain. Your thing get to shaking. You're like, oh, I gotta get inside.
Honey, should I wear the kneecap tonight?
On one side, we have Dolly Parton, Ken Jeong, North Carolina Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, and that boy Grimace. And on the other side, there's Andrew Garfield, Adele, Kim Kardashian, and Charlie Chaplin impersonator Adolf Hitler.
Whoa.
First up, we got the Doppelgängers all here. Which two of these people both entered look-alike contests of themselves?
All right, so I want to say Dolly Parton has to be one of them. Oh, and I know who the other one is. I actually do know who the other one is.
I think it's Adele and Dolly Parton. Because you don't want to win a Mark Robinson lookalike contest. You don't want to win it. The winner of that is the loser.
The answer is Dolly Parton and Adele have both entered lookalike contests of themselves.
Good answer.
Adele went undercover at an Adele lookalike contest for Adele at the BBC. The real Adele is on the right, all the way on the right. And Dolly Parton once entered a Dolly Parton lookalike contest for drag queens. Here she is talking about it in 2012.
All of these other beautiful drag queens had worked for months and weeks getting their clothes and all that, and they were dressed like me. So I just got in the line, and I just walked across. And they just thought I was some little short gay guy. And I got the least applause, but I was just dying laughing inside. I say it's a good thing I was a girl, or I'd be a drag queen.
Have you ever been in any type of lookalike contest or anything?
Nope.
Anybody else? Y'all ever been mistaken?
Tom Cruise, kind of, but that's.
Yes!
I'm not the one that says it.
Tom Cruise. You just say you're not the one who says it?
I'm not the one who says it.
You just said it, bro.
Can you just look at what you look like when it happened? Yeah, some people say it's not me.
I mean,
But, some people say I look like Tom Cruise.
Yeah, I keep playing volleyball with my shirt off.
All right, I've never done any of that. I did one time, though. I did win a Isaiah Whitlock Jr. lookalike contest from The Wire.
That's nice.
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, damn.
That's good.
I can see that.
She.
That's perfect.
Next up, let's do I'm Still Standing. Which two of these people recently appeared at events with a cardboard cutout of someone else?
Oh, no, Robinson had one of Trump. I know that. Which is so creepy. Just so culty and creepy.
I'm going to say Mark Robinson and Andrew Garfield.
Ooh.
Mark Robinson and Andrew Garfield both showed up to events with a cardboard cutout. Andrew Garfield attended the premiere of his new movie, We Live in Time, with a cutout of co-star Florence Pugh, who couldn't be there because of scheduling conflicts. And Mark Robinson was recently campaigning in North Carolina with a cutout of Donald and Melania Trump, who could not be there because Mark Robinson is Mark Robinson. Next up, we've got plywood. Which two of these people have served as toilet paper ambassadors?
It's got to be Ken Jeong.
Yeah.
I think it's Kim Kardashian, don't you?
And Ken Jeong.
Kim Jeong.
It can't be Grimace because we don't know how he shits.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Kim Kardashian and Ken Jeong are the answers. They're both in the pocket of Big Wipe. Ken Jeong appeared in commercials for Cottonelle as their first ever ass-vertiser. And back in 2010, Kim Kardashian helped open Charmin's special holiday toilets in Times Square.
Those adorable Charmin bears led a parade through Times Square, where Kim was presented with the key to unlock the 2010 Charmin restrooms.
Yes, she was given a key to the shitty.
Yes.
Well, I like that one, Roy.
Yes,
That was
100%.
good.
Yes,
That
10 out of 10.
Slow clap on that one.
That was a good
Yes.
one. That was a good one.
Yes.
So we didn't get to Grimace and Adolf Hitler, but they're both people Donald Trump greatly respects. And on one side, we have Bad Bunny, J. Robert Oppenheimer, Matthew McConaughey, and Marissa Tomei. And on the other side, we have Conan O'Brien, Carrie Underwood, Tony Hinchcliffe, and Abraham Lincoln. Panel, first up, we got Go to the polls. Which two of these people competed in pageants and lost?
Conan O'Brien.
I do think it's Conan O'Brien and Marissa Tomei.
What?
That's some kooky thing he would do. You know, he's so tall.
I'm gonna say Abraham Lincoln.
In a pageant during the Civil War. Okay.
I'm thinking this is
You
pre-Civil
got it.
War.
Young Lincoln.
Yes.
Before the vampire hunting. Go
Yes.
ahead. You got it.
And
You got it.
Bad Bunny.
She's my teammate. Whatever Sam says, I'm sticking with.
Oh, you should not do that.
Matthew McConaughey and Carrie Underwood both competed in pageants and lost. Underwood was runner-up for Miss Northeastern State University in 2004, and McConaughey actually thought he won the 1977 Little Mr. Texas pageant until decades later when he zoomed in on the trophy he won, and it actually said, Little Mr. Texas runner-up 1977. As he wrote on Instagram, for 43 years, I was Little Mr. Texas until I wasn't. Turns out the actual winner of Little Mr. Texas 1977 was this guy, Lance Hunter, who now owns his own window tinting business. Congratulations to you, Lance. From the looks of his LinkedIn page, he seems to be doing all right, all right, all right. Next up, we've got Fight or Fight. Which two of these people were at some point notable wrestlers?
Lincoln.
Lincoln was a wrestler.
Marissa Tomei every time. Abraham Lincoln and Marissa Tomei. Anthony agrees.
I want to go with J. Robert Oppenheimer because that just seems dope.
The answer is Abraham Lincoln and Bad Bunny.
Ooh.
Bad Bunny participated in several professional wrestling matches, including WrestleManias 37 and 39, and Abraham Lincoln participated in as many as 300 wrestling matches, earning a reputation as a, quote, a stud, catch-as-catch-can frontier grappler. Frontier grappler, Anthony, I think that was your job in the White House. What does...
I had a lot of jobs, that wasn't one of them.
When you're in the Oval Office with Donald Trump, what are you thinking? Like, are you thinking, how did this happen? Why is he here? How the hell am I here? Like,
Definitely thinking that.
is he nuts in person? Or is he like sort of cogent and whatever when he's in person?
You know, there are 40 of us that are telling you how crazy he is, right? I mean, you had John Kelly, who was 18 months as chief of staff, was telling people that he thinks and acts like a fascist. He pulled out the definition of what fascism is and read it to the New York Times.
But did you feel like you were witnessing that behavior?
I felt like I was witnessing somebody that wanted to break the law and wanted to disavow the Constitution. And we were
But
sitting
that's
there saying,
Roy.
no.
That's Roy does that.
Yeah, well, he's not sitting behind the resolute desk at the Oval Office. Do whatever you want, Roy.
Well, I say whatever moves you made when you was working for Trump, you didn't end up in jail, so you must have did something right. Also, Lincoln wasn't the only POTUS with wrestling experience. So you got 4 presidents up on Mount Rushmore. 3 of them have wrestled. Name them.
Teddy Roosevelt.
Who else?
I don't know who else is on Mount Rushmore.
Jefferson and Washington, but I'll go with Washington.
George Washington and Theodore Roosevelt were also both wrestlers. Now, Thomas Jefferson did some wrestling too, but it was way more problematic. Now, of course, there's another former president, President Trump, loves to wrestle. So as we all step into the voting booth on Tuesday to do our sacred civic duty and take part in this audacious experiment that is American democracy, let us never forget.
See how that Trump was moving like a real human? but then the other one that we're seeing.
I ain't saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I'm gonna go do my own research and I'm gonna get back to you. All right, let's do intern down for what? Which two of these people served as interns for politicians?
I think it's very clear that it's Marissa Tomei.
I think it's Tony and Marissa Tomei.
Conan and Marissa Tomei, final answer.
Conan Bryan and Marissa Tomei were both interns for politicians. Marissa Tomei interned for Chuck Schumer, and Conan O'Brien was an intern to the late Representative Father Robert Drinan. And internships like that are very important because you get into politics and then you realize politics ain't shit, and you get into comedy. We're out of time, so we didn't get to Tony Hinchcliffe and J. Robert Oppenheimer, but both were instrumental in historic bombs. More after the break. It's time for Meet in the Middle, where we find common ground between two people who would never be caught hanging out together. Okay.
That side of the table.
On one side, we have Demi Lovato, Bruce Springsteen, Laura Trump, and Glenn Powell. And on the other side, there's Blake Lively, Jimmy Carter, Fran Drescher, and Gordon Ramsay.
Okay.
Probed and prodded. Which two of these people claim they've been abducted by aliens?
Abducted?
Yes.
Demi Lovato, I know.
Please be Jimmy Carter.
Well, Jimmy
Please
Carter
be Jimmy
says he saw a UFO.
Jimmy Carter
he
said
did
he
not
saw a
claim to
UFO.
be abducted.
Saw ain't the same as getting kidnapped.
I agree. Fran Drescher, Demi Lovato, final answer.
Okay, over here.
It's got to be Demi Lovato and Cooking Man.
Demi Lovato and Fran Drescher both claim they've been abducted by aliens. Drescher claims she and her husband were separately abducted by aliens in junior high, and Demi Lovato has had several close encounters with the third kind, including this one.
These beings were just like, do you want to come back to our planet? And I'm like, hell yeah. I'm sucked out of my room and I'm floating over the planet. Then I woke up and that's all I remember.
Tim, how much credit do you give to Fran or Demi?
I'm an alien guy. I mean, I'm the guy that brought it up in Congress. I said to TMZ, I said, more people believe in aliens than believe in Congress.
You hosted or you were part of a congressional hearing this week on UAP or UFO. What was your big takeaway from it?
They're real. The vastness of God's great universe. I mean, you go out at night, look at those stars, and the light from those stars left there before the time of Christ. So there's more. And do you really think we're the best that God can do?
It depends on the electorate. Here's one of my favorite moments from those alien hearings that Tim was at. It's a bit of testimony from former Pentagon official Luis Elizondo.
Has the government conducted secret UAP crash retrieval programs, yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, were they designed to identify and reverse engineer alien craft, yes or no?
Yes.
Boom. They real. I knew aliens was real, because couldn't no human invent the Roomba? It's a circle, but your house got corners. How the Roomba That's... All right, next up, we have precious parts. Which two of these people have insured their body parts?
Springsteen.
Yeah, that seems like.
I would if I were him. And Blake Lively.
Okay, Springsteen and Lively over here.
That was where I was going.
I thought the same thing.
Bruce Springsteen and Gordon Ramsay have both insured their body parts. Springsteen's vocal cords are covered for $6 million to protect his singing voice. And Chef Gordon Ramsay insured his tongue for $10 million to protect his livelihood of being able to taste food for a living. And also, he needs his tongue to do stuff like this.
Oh, fuck off you fat, useless sack of fucking Yankee danky doodle shite. Fuck off with you.
All right, quick game. I'm gonna name a celeb. You tell me what body part they had insured, all right? Let's do Nick Cannon. What body part did Nick Cannon insure?
I'm gonna say his voice. His voice.
I mean, how many kids does he have?
Yes.
12.
I'm going to say his voice.
Nick Cannon, father of 12, insured his testicles for $10 million.
His testicles cost him money.
He insured his testicles saying, quote, haters say it's time for me to stop having kids and put this super sperm to rest, but I'm doubling down on these valuable balls and my future kids. If you know the ball's worth $10 million, if I was one of Nick Cannon's kids, I'd kick him in the balls and collect the policy. All right, next let's do mid-chef. Which two of these people went to culinary school?
Glenn Powell. He just looks like a cook.
Laura Trump, that seemed like something.
That does seem right, doesn't it?
Should we say Blake Lively? Does that seem?
That's right.
Blake Lively and Laura Trump both went to culinary school. Points over here. Blake Lively took a workshop at Cordon Bleu, and Laura Trump studied at the French Culinary Institute in New York City to become a pastry chef. Before marrying into the anti-woke mob, Laura Trump even ran her own cake decorating business called Laura Leah Confections. Signature designs included this German dictionary cake and her piece de resistance, this camouflage heart cake topped with a fondant AK-47 and a dead bird bleeding out onto the frosting, which she made for her future husband, Eric, on his 26th birthday.
Were there any cakes that say, I will not gay marry you?
I'll check her website. On one side, we have Walt Disney, Shaquille O'Neal, Jay Leno, and Sonia Sotomayor. And on the other side, there's Bazooka Joe, OpenAI CEO Sam Altman, Sydney Sweeney, and Steve Carell. First up, Doom Raiders. Which two of these people are doomsday preppers?
Well, Bazooka Joe for sure.
No, Sam Altman.
Sam Altman's one.
I want to say Shaquille O'Neal. That just feels right.
Shaq and OpenAI CEO Sam Altman are both doomsday preppers. Shaquille O'Neal has reportedly been building his own apocalypse bunker, and Sam Altman told The New Yorker in 2016, quote, I have guns, gold, potassium iodide, antibiotics, batteries, water, gas masks from the Israeli Defense Force, and a big patch of land in Big Sur I can fly to. It's kind of a privileged thing.
Yeah.
The idea to be so rich that you can have a house, a summer house, a vacation house, and an in case shit house.
I live in a New York apartment. I don't even have a hall closet.
Also, like, if everything really goes down, I don't want to be here. Take me. Let the zombies take a bite. I'm done. I don't want it.
We'll see what happens after inauguration in January.
Yeah.
Speaking of AI, what AI creation is upsetting some people this holiday season?
I know this one. The Coca-Cola commercial, they made it entirely out of AI, and it's terrible.
Artists, actors, and filmmakers are angry that Coca-Cola has used generative AI to create a holiday commercial. Here is the ad.
Why are we mad? Did we think the polar bears were real?
They're supposed to have a person in it. They're going,
Yeah.
like, you're supposed to, that's what every soda commercial is supposed to be.
My issue is that there wasn't no black people in there. The whole village dancing
There
around
was
a Christmas
one
tree.
kind of guess the race skin person.
Yeah. It's not. He was in the dark. Regular white.
Next up, we've got valedictators. Which two of these people were the valedictorian of their high school?
Sotomayor for sure.
Definitely
Yeah.
Sotomayor. I want to go with the slightly offbeat choice. I feel like it was Sydney Sweeney.
Because the obvious choice is Bazooka Joe.
Yes.
We are going to say Walt Disney and Steve Carell.
Sydney Sweeney and Sotomayor.
Whoa. Nice.
Despite playing a party girl on Euphoria, Sweeney actually never went to a party, opting to study and then be on call for the inevitable 3 a.m. phone call from friends requesting a ride home. She volunteered to be Uber before Uber. And if Sydney Sweeney's the biggest nerd these kids know, what does that high school look like? All right, let's do Going Postal, but in a fun way. Which two of these people were mail carriers?
Walt Disney and Steve Carell, obviously.
Bazooka Joe, and then you just guessed between those two.
And then Jay Leno.
Steve Carell and Walt Disney were both mail carriers.
Man, do we suck at this.
We suck at this.
I know.
Steve Carell and Walt Disney were both mail carriers, and that's the actual origins of that Disney ride, The Postman Bangs Your Wife. You remember that one at Epcot? That was...
I do remember my wife went on a ride by herself, and I couldn't figure out why.
Speaking of mail, last week, the Postal Service announced a new stamp. Does anyone know which beloved celebrity is getting their own stamp?
Is it Betty White?
Betty White is getting her own stamp. The Golden Girl and Mary Tyler Moore actress will get her own stamp in 2025. Here's how it will look. Good for Betty White, making her the first cast member of the 1999 hit Lake Placid to get her own stamp. That's all the time we have. So we didn't get to Jay Leno and Bazooka Joe, but both are comedians who have eye patches and should apologize to Monica Lewinsky for all the jokes they made about her in the 90s.
Yes, sir.